Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Been a little while since I've made a video, so apologies for the tardiness there, but work, life, all that sort of stuff has gotten in the way. So today I'm just up here at One Tree Hill in South Australia, and I'm just going to be playing around with my NFED antenna, just setting it up in a bit of a different configuration than normal, just to see how it performs. So it'll be basically an inverted L. So just got a couple of poles, and yeah, just going to, I guess, practice setting that up and see how it goes. Want to try and be a little bit more self-sufficient, instead of having to take a big slingshot that you've probably seen in a few other videos, and mucking around with ropes and stuff. So I just figured I might just see how we go with a few poles. The other thing I'll do today is just run you through my updated mobile installation. Those of you who have been on the channel for a little while probably have noticed I've got a new car. I've had that for about a year now, and I've finally settled on an installation that I'm fairly happy with. Took a while to get it right, and get all the cables in sort of laid out the way I wanted it to, and everything like that. So I'll run you through that, and we'll see how we go. So apologies if it's the audio's a bit ordinary. It's a bit windy up here, as is always the case. So I'll try and keep that under control for you. So I'll just go and set this up, and yeah, see how we go. So I've got everything set up now. What I'm using here basically is two 7-meter high fiberglass telescopic poles, heavy duty ones, and I've got an NFED antenna on it mounted as an inverted L. It's 20 meters long, the wire. So yeah, haven't measured it out terribly well. It's got a bit of a sag in the wire. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. Up. I'll just be able to see the orange wire that holds this end up, and it goes across there like that. So that one, it's, as I said before, it's pretty windy, so things are bending a fair bit. So let's go and have a look at what we get in terms of a result from the antenna analyzer. Now, sorry about the wind again. Let's see if we can see this. And doesn't look too bad. This is a 4-band antenna, so 40 through 10. So on 40, it's not too bad. 20 is good. 15 is good, as you'd expect. And 10's okay. So that should work fine. So let's hook up a radio and see how we go. VK5 Sierra Tango Uniform Portable.
VK5 Sierra Tango Uniform Portable. G'day Stuart, good signal, right? 5N959, over.
No worries, Peter. Good morning, mate. Good to talk to you again. Thanks for the 59. I'll give you 59 as well, mate. Just our portable, testing a new antenna setup. So I'm just curious to see how it goes. Sounds like it's going okay there, mate. Over.
Yeah, no problems at all. Firming into here.
Good to know, good to know. Yeah, it's just an NFED set up as an inverted L off of a couple of telescopic poles hanging off the car. So yeah, just trying something different rather than throwing ropes up in the tree. So Also, mate, I'm just recording this, going to put up on my YouTube channel, so if that's okay with you there, mate, over.
Yeah, no problems at all. No problems at all, that's Stuart. Today I decided to do a squid pole on my first activation, just with a linked pole, and this one I was trying to string up in the tree. So just want to get away from it, and I'll just use it again. But anyway, all good. It's certainly doing the trip hole. Over.
No worries, mate. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, it's sagging a bit. I reckon in the middle of it's about 5 metres off the ground, but all good. All right, mate. I won't hold you. Thank you very much for the report. Good to talk to you again, and enjoy the long weekend there, mate. Over.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Good to get you along again, and you enjoy the weekend as well.
7-3, mate. Cheers.
VK3 for Power Fox Portable.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to do while I was here was work out a way to set up my other telescopic pole. This one's I think a 12-metre heavy-duty spider beam antenna, or mast I should say, and it's just a little bit cumbersome sometimes, so I wanted to find a way to attach it to the car easily and safely. And the biggest problem with this being so tall is that the bottom tends to kick out, so it really needs to be supported in 2 places. Ideally it should be guide, but that's not always possible, so I'm just going to have a muck around with this while I'm here and see what I can do. Alright, so that's all set up. I'll see if I can get that whole thing in the shot for you. Seems to be pretty sturdy actually. Not sure you can see the top of that or not. I'll try a different angle. It's got a bit of a sway to it in the breeze, doesn't it? Might be worth putting a backstay off that if I'm going to use it, but otherwise it seems to be fairly stable. Just one hockey strap and one lightweight, I don't know if you call it a ratchet strap or not, but yeah, seems to be holding up right. I'm fairly happy with that, though as I say, a backstay or something just to keep the top a bit stable might be the go. Yeah. Of course now I'm thinking I should have put an antenna on it, right? So the not so vertical there. Performance doesn't look too bad according to the antenna analyzer, so that might be the way to go. That's a PAR NFED or LNR Precision NFED QRP trail friendly antenna, I think it is. 25 watt maximum and 3 bands. You can see that there. So yeah, that's right. It's just a little bit too long for the antenna, so just over 12 meters, but I don't think that's going to worry anybody too much. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the portable setup at the moment. So we'll start outside with the antenna, and once again, sorry about the wind noise if there is any, but basically all we've got here is a piece of PVC pipe, strategically wrapped with insulation tape to make it look the part, and just an eBay special antenna just mounted on the top with an SO239 chassis on there, chassis connector I should say. Coax goes down the tube and pops out and it runs up through the engine bay and then inside the cab. So this was going to be very temporary, and as with everything that I do that's supposed to be temporary, it generally ends up being permanent, so I might tidy that up when time permits. Inside, alright, so inside we've got still the 8900, which is just mounted on the dash. I've actually cable tied it to a vent that's there, which doesn't really get used, so it sits there nice and firm and ready to go. So I'll just turn him on and make sure he sounds alright. Over here I've got not sure if you're going to be able to see that, set of switches that you see that. So just as before, if you've seen the other video there, I've just got one channel that's set up to scan all the 2 and 70 centimeter repeaters around the place, and the other half I just leave it on my local repeater there, which is pretty quiet at the moment. Microphone just sits up here, just on a bracket, so that's just out of the way there. Nothing special there. I'll just take you around and show you where I've mounted the body. So just behind the back seats here, let that catch up. I've got the 8900 body mounted in there with some beautiful cable work there. Just the excess coming off of the cable going to the head unit, and antenna coax. So that brown one there just disappears up and runs under all of the trim work out through the engine bay to the antenna as you saw before. This guy here is the UHF CB. The Cat 5 network cable there is in place there because the cable for the head unit's not quite long enough, but that works fine, and a couple of ferrite beads around the place just to keep things happy. So both of those are wired up to a relay in a fuse box or a distribution box, which is mounted under the drawers or to the side of the drawers in the back here. And I've got another network cable which runs up to the switches that you saw before, and they're all driving relays, so low power, and network cables are fine for that, nice and thin, and gives me 8 conductors that goes up there to 6 switches. So power, earth, and 6 switches. So pretty easy, pretty standard, pretty straightforward. So that's pretty much the installation.